The ogres and the trolls were now at war. One thing was obvious. The trolls were attacking with weaponry far too advanced to have been created by them. Someone else had to have supplied the weapons. The city of Ogreville was now under attack. But how could this be? Nobody liked the trolls. The entire country was against them. The ogre leaders couldn't see any way possible for the trolls to have gotten these weapons. What could have possibly happened for them to get their hands on such advanced products? A meeting had been called at their subterranean headquarters. When they took over the cities, they decided to keep their headquarters in its original location due to safety and privacy reasons. The meeting had been called by their leader, Michaelitis, with the head of the different sectors to be in attendance. They met to discuss a strategy to thwart the attempts by the rebellious trolls. The ogres and the trolls were now at war. One thing was obvious. The trolls were attacking with weaponry far too advanced to have been created by them. Someone else had to have supplied the weapons. The city of Ogreville was now under attack. But how could this be? Nobody liked the trolls. The entire country was against them. The ogre leaders couldn't see any way possible for the trolls to have gotten these weapons. What could have possibly happened for them to get their hands on such advanced products? Now, while devising this plan, they did not realize there was a traitor among them. They had their own version of Judas Iscariot. Lebronitis was very jealous of Michaelitis. He'd like to be like Mike. Yeah, like Mike. He wants to be like Mike. He had long desired to become top dog, to be seen as greater than Michaelitis, to be revered as the greatest ogre of all time. But try as he might, the reputation of Michaelitis was too much to overcome. The younger people almost worshipped Lebronitis. But they had not seen the epic battles fought before by Michaelitis. Michael was considered to be the greatest warrior of all time. In the epic battles of yesteryear, he was undefeated. 6 epic battles, and he had won them all. Lebronitis had won 4 great battles. However, he had lost 6. Michaelitis never lost an epic battle, so it's very hard to compare these two warriors on the same level. It's obvious to any outside observer that Michaelitis was by far the superior warrior and leader. So, Lebronitis was very jealous of Michael's stature, and was willing to subvert the entire ogre kingdom for his own gain. It would be no surprise that he and Jeff Pupius would get along magnificently. Birds of a feather, you know? Sadly, there had already been one betrayal. Chuck Barkitis had defected to the side of the trolls 1 year earlier. Granted, Chuck was half ogre, half troll, but he had been a faithful ogre beforehand. He then defected and changed his name from Chuck Barkitis to Chuck Barkius, and had become an official troll. Now it appeared that he and Lebronitis were going to be in the same boat. Would LeBron now change his name to Lebronius? And so now, in this meeting of the Council Supreme, Lebronitis speaks up.
Okay, let's get this meeting started. I believe you all know why we're here. The trolls are trying to procure weaponry to attack us with. We cannot let this happen. We have to cut it off before it happens. We have to make sure that they don't have weaponry that's more advanced than ours. Even though we could easily defeat them, that would be terrible if they were able to do that. Sir, there's one thing I would suggest. You know that the trolls are very money hungry, that they will turn on each other on a dime. They're not honest people. I would say we try to bribe one of them, one of the ones in their main group. I would suggest Jeff Pupius. He is the most scoundrel of the bunch. I say we try to bribe him for information. He always claims to know everything, even though we know he doesn't. But I would suggest maybe trying to work him a little bit and see if we can get some intel. I agree. Jeff Pupius is the biggest scoundrel of all the trolls that I have encountered. I'm sure that he wouldn't mind turning on his own people. That's pretty much his M.O. He'll do anything for money, regardless of how illegal or unethical it is. I think it would be a good plan. Let's target him and go after him and see if we can get him to turn on them and give us the information so we can keep them from getting these weapons. Sir, I know it's a dangerous mission, but I would be willing to go and find Jeff Pupius and talk to him and try to convince him to come over to our side. I'd be willing to take one for the team because you know how unselfish I am. But I need my damn respect. So, let me just go talk to him. Let me see if I can find out something. I'll promise him whatever he wants. And give him whatever he wants, or at least make him think that. But I will be willing to sacrifice for us. Well, I appreciate that, Libernatus. I appreciate your willingness to sacrifice and do this for us. So I hereby grant you the permission to go into the country of the trolls and invade their inner sector. I give you permission to promise Jeff Pupius whatever he wants. Let's bring this to an end before it starts. Okay, Goody's gone. Alright, now we can talk in private. Sir, I don't mean to be the bearer of bad news or to try to put a damper on all this, but I do not trust him. I think he's extremely jealous of you. He wants to take your position. He wants to be king. People are already calling him King James. People have even painted murals on the side of cliffs, on the side of buildings, anointing him as King James. He wants your spot, sir. I would watch him like a hawk. I'm afraid I have to agree. I don't trust him either. There's a certain vibe I get from him. It's a vibe of jealousy. A vibe of deceit. So watch him, sir. Watch him. Okay. You both have been faithful to me for years. I've always had a feeling about Libernitis. But I know that you two are sincere and that you're behind me 100%. And so I will trust your judgment. I'm going to allow him to go. I'm not going to stop him. But at the same time, I want to send scouts out to watch his every move. Because I, at this point, don't really trust him, and you guys seem to feel the same way.
And so Michaelitis sent his trusted scout, Scottiatus, to follow Libernitis into the city, where he would keep an eye on him and observe his every action and word. Scottiatus dressed himself up like a troll so he could infiltrate the troll camps without being detected. Other than the fact trolls were small and he was 6'8".
Hey, how's it going? I'm looking for Starbucks. This is my first time really coming downtown. I've been on the outskirts trying to hide out. And because Yeah, I'm an ogre, but the ogres don't like me, and I'm just trying to get away from them. So, hey, can I hang out with you for a bit? You look like a friendly kind of guy.
Hey, yeah. I was just trying to find a place to get a haircut. I got my bow so they can just cut around the bottom of it and give me a haircut. So yeah, if you want to look for a place for a haircut for me, that'd be great. I think there's one down this way. Let's go.